Welcome to the Zeducation Podcast, where it's all about helping people and organizations unleash their greatness. The Zeducation Podcast features lively discussions.
When they share it, you see that they're beginning to feel empowered.
My heart, it's full of pride for me to be at Maitai Samoa.
You don't necessarily need a degree these days. There's so many pathways to success.
Welcome to the Zeducation Podcast. So welcome to the Zeducation Podcast. Today we're diving into entrepreneurial mindset, especially within the Pacific community, with Laura Keil-Hall, founder and CEO of the Pacific Business Hub. Laura's business is dedicated to empowering Pacifica entrepreneurs, providing resources and support to help them grow and thrive. Whether you're dreaming of a side hustle or thinking about launching your own business, or maybe you're a business owner right now, this episode is going to be packed with some good talanoa, good insights to help get you started or to go further, build confidence, and turn those ideas into action. So let's hear Laura's story. It's going to be inspiring, and it's going to help encourage us to take that first step and explore how to shift our mindset and how it can open doors to new opportunities. So welcome to the Zeducation Podcast show. Laura, thank you for your time. How are you, my friend?
I am very well, thank you. It's another day, another hustle.
I love it. I love it. Typical entrepreneur. Another day, another hustle. I love it. By the way, what does hustle mean to you? Because we hear that catchphrase and, thrown around here and there. But to you, when you say hustle, what do you actually mean?
Oh, hustle, what it means to me is actually getting out there and getting the business done. You really have to create your own opportunities, whether that's engaging with, customers, stakeholders, just trying to, because if we don't hustle, people aren't going to know about us and our business, and we're not going to be able to sell, the services and the products that we have. It's about, when it comes to selling your business, it's like, okay, what do I need to do to market my business? Who do I need to get in front of? So, and it's a good thing to have, because then, it encourages you to, I guess, progress and grow as well. Because before I did all of this, I would have been, I was shy, like before I started the business, I was shy and timid. It's like, how am I ever going to make any money if I'm shy and timid?
Yeah.
Not asking for the help, asking for the support. So, yeah.
Yeah. From entrepreneur to entrepreneur, I get it. I get the hustle. And look, shy and being nervous and anxious, I don't think that ever goes away. It's still a part of the journey, but it's like, what do you do in spite of that? And like you said, like getting out of your comfort zone and just finding a way. Like for me, hustling is just another way of saying, I will find a way. Even though it's hard, even though it's scary, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to find a way.
That's the word.
Never
giving up.
Never giving up. I love that. Let's go to your story. I want to go to the beginning because, and I want to hear how you went from, the beginnings, the starting days to like, now you've got a business, the Pacific Business Hub. You're in Manukau, you're in Newland in New Zealand. You're also sparking up in Australia as well, and also in the islands. Tell us about that. Tell us the journey. How did you go from A to B?
Wow, it's a very long story, but hopefully I'll try and keep it brief. But I guess what inspired me was growing up. I've always heard this being said, "Avaaya ku loa le si Samoa o lelele si Samoa, kam whaia e ku'u mai lalo." What does that mean? When a Samoan sees another Samoan doing well, they want to bring them down, which is the tall poppy syndrome. So this was actually before me going into business and actually got involved. So in my mind at the time, so for me, it was about how do we change that? How do we uplift each other? So somehow I found myself becoming a business manager for the BNZ. I had not anticipated that was going to be the journey I was going to take. I got into finance and banking by accident. That was never something I wanted to aspire to, but somehow there I was, and I was actually referring a lot of business to, I don't want to say like non-Pacific businesses. So it got me wondering, where are our businesses? Who can I help? Who can I refer business to? So that really piqued my interest, and I started kind of looking out outside of what I'm used to. And then also like social media at the time, I think Facebook was very kind of new at the time. So this goes back to 2010. So started looking out and seeing where they are. And then during that time, this is a story I've told many a time, is that I started seeing, so it was Lani Went Young's book, the trilogy, the Telesad trilogy. And there was a poster that was posted online, and then I saw all these logos and all these business names behind it. I was like, oh my gosh, look, there they are. Okay, let me go search for them, and I'll just message them and see if there was any way I can actually support them. So it's about introducing myself and also asking if there was any support, just reach out. So I did that. So I even messaged Lani, and she responded. Most of the people that I actually messaged responded. And then I found out the person that was behind the launch and behind that poster was a friend from Samoa. His name is Rasmus Pereira. So yeah, so him and I, we connected, and saw that there was so much opportunities out there for our businesses. There's an opportunity there for us to mobilize our Samoan business community. Yeah, so we just, came together, we met, and then we actually started the Samoa Business Network. I knew the power of branding, so I was working for a big corporate at the time. I was already, working with businesses. I was already, organizing networking events for the local branch in Manukau. So like it was simple for me to look at organizing something. So yeah, so we actually in September of 2011, we launched the Samoa Business Network. And it was such an amazing experience at the time to actually see our people coming together. So we started off as just doing networking events, and then we decided, you know what, this looks like it's going to take off. And if it's successful, we'll look at officially launching it as a legal entity. And so every month after that, we actually had a networking event, and they were quite successful. And I don't base the success on the numbers. So I base the success of the people that come through those doors. So we always had like about 30 people that come through, but they were new people every time. There was always new people coming through every time. So in 2012, early 2012, we officially launched the Samoa Business Network, and it was my intention to build the other ethnic communities networks once we've kind of settled that. So I'm proud to say that we did manage to launch the other ones, like the Tonga, the Niue, and in the last couple of years, we launched the Cook Islands Business Networks. So those networks currently, they're kind of, because we did that for some time. So those are now sitting idle at the moment because I've been focusing on building the Pacific Business Hub. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the learnings and listening to business people at that time has informed the establishment of the Pacific Business Hub. Like I say, for me, it was about, okay, now that we've built these networks, now that we know the challenges, now that we know what our people do, and also we know the challenges out there with the support, because that's the other thing I found that there was, first off, there was no networking groups for Pacific, hence why we started with Samoa, because we were Samoans. There was lack of support for Pacific businesses. There was literally nothing at the time. So it kind of like we took it upon ourselves to start something. So yeah, for me, it was providing a space so that we can uplift and support each other in business, changing those negative mindsets. Yeah,
I love it. I
about
love it.
specific. Yeah.
I love it. One of the cool things I enjoyed about your journey is you identified an opportunity and you identified a need and you responded to it. Not radically, but you piloted the little networking thing and then just kind of grew from there. Now, I want to hear the power of community and bringing businesses together. Like I know that the Pacific Business Hub is more than just people coming together and networking. Tell
Yes.
us the ripple effect and the impact that's had on business owners and community.
Okay. So having a community around you is very important, because it's your support system, right? You get to connect with others that know and understand your journey. So we've intentionally set up the hub the way it is, so that, it encourages us or forces us. I don't want to use the word force because, to work together and support each other and uplift each other. Okay. So at the Pacific Business Hub, so we provide 3 core services, which is the physical hub. So we provide co-working shared space to enable businesses to have an office, to have a professional environment where they can work from and conduct their business activities, where they can actually have meetings with their clients. What differentiates us from other co-working spaces is the business support services that come with it. So we work with our clients, we work with the businesses that are based here to to better their businesses. So all they have to do is talk to us, tell us what the challenges are, and what do we need to do to actually build their businesses up. So we provide the advisory services. So for example, if someone walks in here and they want to start a business, so we actually sit down with them and take them through that process. If they're serious about starting, then we will actually show them how to start. If you're an existing business, we will look at where the gaps are for the business, and then we'll work with you to plug those gaps. If we're unable to help you, we have, our connections and our networks that we can actually refer you to. And then the other part is we create initiatives to support businesses. So for example, now we have our Pacific Business Directory. So if anyone wants to find them, we have a directory that they can just go in there, look for them, support them. We have our pop-up markets. We have our network as well. So, so it encourages our business community to come together, support each other, connect, learn from each other and grow. We're not trying to say that we know everything, but, we can learn from each other, during this process and also during this journey that we're going on. Because being in business, it's a lonely journey. We know all the entrepreneurs and all the business owners know this. So we're trying to say it doesn't have to be that way. We're here. The hub is here. If you ever feel that way, come and see us. We're not here to judge you. We know exactly what you're going through. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love the power of community and how you support each other. And like you said, it's better to surround yourself with people who are on similar journeys or that you can relate to, who share similar values, rather than just going at it alone.
Yes.
Especially if you have similar challenges to other people, you can kind of support one another. So tell us, because I understand that all businesses are different, all unique. We don't want to generalize everybody, but my question is, what is the common challenge that you see with businesses, especially Pacifica businesses? Like, what are some of the common challenges that you feel like that they experience, and how do they overcome that?
Mindset. I always believe in having a positive mindset, which is easier said than done. And I think a lot of things that I will mention is easier said than done. But, it's about taking ownership of everything that you do. No excuses, no blaming others. If you make a mistake, own it, learn from it, grow. There are so many challenges. And the other one is competition. We focus too much. Well, most businesses focus on that. So what we're trying to say is, it doesn't have to be that way again. There's a huge market out there for all of us. You just need to focus on you and what you're doing. Don't worry about what your other, colleague is doing. So just focus on yourself, focus on your product or your service, because the moment you look up and start looking at other people, that's when you start feeling like, resentment, excuse me, and, bitterness towards others, because, that's why I always say mindset as well, because it's about controlling our thoughts and our emotions, because sometimes we are our own worst enemy. We let our mind control us. Emotions we can't help. We're only human. We're not perfect. So sometimes, like, I'm not perfect myself. There are times that when I do look up and I see someone, and you feel kind of like, I should be there. I should, but it's kind of like, how do you control that? So it's kind of like, yeah. So you have to be very strong to be able to do that. And that's why I say, like, you have to surround yourself with like-minded people, like
I
you
like
said.
that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, you're right. Especially when I don't want to simplify it, but basically I look at it as two ways. When you want to support and grow your business, you've got to look at skill set,
Mm.
then you've also got to look at mindset. So skill set, it's talking about the capability to do it, with the capacity, and also the resources to execute on that with the skills, and then mindset thing. But the thing is with entrepreneurs, and I can speak for myself, is it's easier said than done when it comes to mindset. And because it's hard, like you said, it's hard being a business owner. Sometimes you're worried about where's the next source of income going to come from. You might have issues with staff or clients or whatever it is. You're constantly trying to solve problems, and you're investing in others, and sometimes you forget to invest in yourself. So
Mm.
my question to you is, how can entrepreneurs work on their mindset in spite of everything else that they need to do in the business? How do you make time to work on your mindset, and some tips for growing that mindset?
I guess I can only talk from my experience. I guess I was fortunate many years ago that I started learning about positive thinking. I started reading books and stuff. One of the books that I've read in the past was The Secret. It's like The Secret actually affirmed some of the things that I already knew, and the power of attraction, and and the law of attraction and the universe. So for us, for me, the universe to me is God. There's in business, like for me, faith plays a huge part in what I do as well. Because you can have the best laid plans, but still things won't go the way that you like it to go. Like they say, you may have your plans, but God has other plans.
Mm.
So yeah, so I guess, and then I've just had to practice that, and being aware of my thoughts, being aware of, the things that surround me and the environment that I'm in. So yeah, I think it's a hard one. I think it's you taking ownership of, yeah, of your thoughts, taking ownership of your situation, because you have the power in your hand, in your hands to change that.
Mm.
So it's really up to you how you seek out to change that mindset. And I don't know. I'm just saying that's my experience.
Yeah.
I've just learned to practice that every day, on a daily basis, to drown out the noise, to, drown out the negativity, to not listen to naysayers, to not listen to people who tell you that you can't do anything. So I hope I've answered your question.
Oh, 100%. I think one of the cool things that stood out for me is what you feed your mind, and spending some time working it out, just like a muscle. You go to the gym in order to stay healthy and strong. You've got to go to the gym consistently. But what's
Yes,
the
yes.
gym? What's the gym for the mind? that you've got to do consistently to keep the mind strong and
Yeah.
resilient. I think one of the coolest things I've learned, I read this book, can't remember the name of it, but one of the things I picked up from it was, you know, poor people focus on entertainment and wealthy people focus on education. So he's saying remove distractions like entertainment until you're wealthy. Then you can spoil yourself with entertainment, binge watch on Netflix, do whatever you want, but unless if you're poor or whatever it is, like don't distract yourself with binge watching and all of that. Like focus on building and generating and producing. And that's where education comes in. So what I've done from a practical point of view, it was hard. It was hard. I went and deleted all my apps on my phone. I deleted the Netflix. I deleted this app called Crunchyroll Anime, and I just started replacing my time and my consumption with things that are inspiring and things that will teach me a skill, will help me learn. So I've noticed a little bit of a difference, but ask me how that's going in a month's time, because I've just done it recently. But anyway, I feel like that comes back to your point around what you spend your time on, who you spend your time with, and what you feed your mind. It's so important. I want to hear about your Pacifica values, because you got the Pacific Business Hub. Tell me how, and give me examples, because our audience loves case studies and practical examples around how your Pacifica values can help you thrive in business. Can you give examples of that?
Yeah. So family, family is central in many of our Pacific cultures, and, Pacific entrepreneurs or us, often we create our businesses to give back to our communities. Some of us, we want to create jobs for, support our families and then reinvest those profits, into back to our communities and locally. Respect is foundational value for us, and we approach leadership with humility and integrity, which is sometimes in business. So a lot of these values, like it works for business, but it works for us, but it also works against us. Like humility, emphasis on not seeking to elevate oneself above others, right? But and that's why, like I say, it works against us, because it feels like when we start boasting about ourselves, it's not natural to us to do that, right? So those are the things that we have to think about. There's reciprocity as well. So it's supposed to, well, in business as well, it's supposed to be a two-way thing. And that's what reciprocity is. But sometimes you're giving a lot more than what you're getting back. So yeah, there is a lot of people I know, just going back to my time in corporate and, with conventional business, is they always tell us there's no place for culture. There's no place for faith in business. But I say, says who? Says who? And so I took it upon myself to incorporate these things in all of the things that we do, and also our faith as well. So if you come into the hub, part of that, you will see parts of that in our space. And I guess that's what differentiates us from others. But like I say, like these are, our values, what makes us different. And it works for business as well, but sometimes it works against us. So yeah,
I love that. And I like that you touched on the community aspect of that as well. So I want to bring it back to Pacifica families, Pacifica communities, people who have already got a job or maybe looking for a job, but they're thinking of maybe finding a way to create more income, and they're thinking of a side hustle or maybe a side business. What's your advice around that for people who are thinking about a side hustle, is the phrase that some people call it?
do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. And now, if you know that there's places like us out there, go out and go and see them. Like for me, like I've had this vision for a very long time, but it was such a scary move to do. And then I realized, and I just literally took a leap of faith. I just did it, you know. Yeah, so I'm just saying, just do it and learn along the way. But now that you know there's places like us that exist, you can come and we can help you through that process and make it much easier for you to start and start right. Because for us, we've done the learnings, because a lot of us, we've started and then get here and then we're having to work our way back. And that's what we're finding a lot of businesses do. So what we're saying, we've done all of that hard work. So come and see us so you can actually, start right. And you don't have to worry about those other things that you've been worried about, So
I love that. I love that. So basically, obviously, we can speak from experience networking, go and find other Pacifica business owners, people who are doing it, and ask them to support you. Um, you talked about branding before. I want to come back to that because you said you understand the power of branding and how that can help a business. Tell us about branding. Tell us why is that important and how do you do it properly?
branding is very important because that's what represents your business and what represents you. So since taking this journey, I've always known that was important to walk the talk. Do what you say you're going to do, because that's how you build trust. That's how you build a following. So that's why, it's very important. When I talked about where I worked before, they're corporate. They've been around for very many years, and they would have built that reputation over many years. So, and people gravitate towards that brand because they see what they stand for. So, and that's why it's very important for us to build strong brands for our businesses. We represent the business, so we need to, I guess, hold ourselves to account, hold ourselves to, I guess, a higher standard, because otherwise, if you're going to play lip service, no one's going to believe you. No one's going to want to come to you for help and support. So I've always believed in hard work and creating things. So when I actually talk about things, I've hold myself to account to that I now need to do it. So because a lot of I've come across people who have said they're going to do this and that, but they don't follow through. It's just like praying. We're very religious people. We get told, oh, just pray. But it's like, you got to pray and act, not just pray and wait for Jesus to come and hold your hand. Sorry, so it's about creating those opportunities.
I love it. Make it happen. Make it happen. I want to talk about sales because like branding and marketing is good, but then sales, and I feel like that can be quite hard for a lot of people, especially for a lot of Pacifica who are not used to talking about themselves, talking about their business, the value that they add. What are some tips around that? Putting yourself out there, getting out of your comfort zone, and selling your business, selling your service, basically selling you.
Yeah. So looking back at my journey, so like, I mentioned before, I was very shy and timid. So it was a hard, long way to build my confidence, and I always look back and I'm grateful for the managers that I had who actually pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I hated it so much. But what I learned from that, if you don't push yourself, if you're not getting out of your comfort zone, you're not growing, you're not progressing. And so I've always known that for us, we can be quite shy when we first start out. So again, it's like, that's why we build the platforms that we build, so that you can come to us and we'll help you push your brand and yourself out there. Like, if you don't want to do it, we can do it for you. And that way we can work with you at the same time to build your confidence to be able to go out there. That's why we run our networking events, so you can come and see and observe what actually is a networking event. What happens in this space. Okay, now you've come and you observed and you learned. So, okay, now I'm going to go. And so we encourage you to go find other networking groups to belong to and go into and learn and observe. So that's how I guess I built my brand, because it's important to build a brand, because then you can then sell the services under your brand. Okay. So, and yeah, because I know a lot of people, they just build the business, they start the business, they do all that branding stuff, but then they don't go out there and get the business. Or they just post on social media and they think that's enough. But it's not. You need to really put yourself out there, which is a hard thing to do. So that's why we built the hubs, so you can come to us, at least take that step. Because I also know that most times we have too much pride. We're too shy to ask for that help. So so if you want to actually grow sales, do that stuff. And if you know you can't do it yourself, there's help out there. Ask for it. We are here. Come and see us, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to get that money to come in. That's what the hustle is. You have to get out there, get the sales, get people to believe in you, believe in your brand, make them want to buy it, make them want to be a part of it.
I love that. I love it. And the most important part is that you believe in yourself and believe in what you're selling and offering as well. I love that. So look, the Pacific Business Hub here have got an awesome network. They've got the services. You've got even here, Laura herself telling you that she's willing to help and coach. They've got mentoring services to support you if you're thinking about starting a business. Now, we want to finish this episode with a bang. Again, we just want to thank you, Laura, so much for your time and just being so generous with your knowledge and your experience and helping our people. But what's your final words of encouragement for our audience? And then finish off with, if they want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Yeah. All I can say is, believe in yourself, believe in your abilities, have faith that everything will be fine, and if you're wanting to start that business, start it. If you're too scared, come and see us. We're based, we're based in Manukau. We're on Lambie Drive, 6x20 Lambie Drive. You can give us a call on 218-8273. We also have a hub in New Lynn, 3049 Great North Road. So, we've built this for you. Come and see us. Don't be shy. What do they say about the journey of 1,000 steps? Start with one single step. 1,000 miles. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And what is that step going to be for you?
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Nice final words of encouragement. Again, Laura Keil-Hall, founder and CEO of the Pacific Business Hub. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the amazing work that you're doing for our people in the community, helping them thrive, and we're much better for it. Malo pito.